when coming into a new learning experience, adults want to teach and be taught simultaneously. So you as an educator need to make sure that you design for the autonomous, self-directed adult, not a child waiting to be taught. So there's actually 4 reasons why we need to think about our approach to working with adult learners, especially in the 21st century and in the diverse context that we work in. It saves us time, has better results not only for the individuals that we serve, but also the organizations that we are a part of. It avoids you as the educator needing to repeat the material outside of the session, or the learner to excessively review the learning outside of the designated time. To design for better learning for adults, I've created an acronym that helps me, and I think it might help you. It's called CABLES. So think of it like allowing your learners to plug into themselves and the content you're presenting. See what I did there? Cables also create electricity. So through a more informed approach, you're creating lifelong learners who are energized when they learn something new and they get the results that they're after. I think this is really what it's all about. Okay, so the first letter in my acronym is C. C stands for choice. You want to design with choice in mind. Your learning really needs to provide the perception of choice for the adults that you're serving. Let's say, for example, you have a topic that you wanted to teach and you had 3 different scenarios or examples that they would have to work through. Like, let's say a real world example of leadership styles. Instead of relaying information according to the order on your paper, which I know us teachers are guilty of, give your learners the choice to decide which scenario they want to start with, or create an assessment to be done in the session or ahead of time to gauge their understanding of the different leadership styles out there. This can be done with many online tools that we've seen nowadays with Google Forms or SurveyMonkey. You can also put together group activities or something in a breakout room on Zoom, for example, that give them only just enough information to get started, so they have to problem solve their way around the solution. Then they can come together and share what they've learned in their groups, giving them a sense of achievement. All right, the second letter in my acronym is A. A stands for assumptions. This is huge. What assumptions are you bringing to the learning? Every single person sitting in your session will have something to offer. This is on the basis of the theory of andragogy, or the theory of how adults learn. We are not empty vessels, regardless of our past experience with whatever you are teaching. You need to leverage that experience in the planning phase of your session. So for example, in your curriculum template or lesson plan, consider when, or if it's possible, to divide learners into groups and assign them with tasks where they need to rely on one another for the answer, or they need to go away and research the topic at hand and then share what they've learned with their peers. This is a very simple way to validate adults being self-directed and sources of knowledge for each other. This also takes the pressure off of you as an educator at the same time, so win-win. So we have choice, we have assumptions, and the next letter in my acronym is B, which stands for benefits. You want to design your learning with benefits in mind. After knowing a little bit about your learners, then you can more clearly define your aims, objectives, and outcomes. Ideally, these should be co-created together with your learners. You want to focus on which part of the benefits are for the learners explicitly. So rather than strictly sticking to your own agenda or an agenda from above, your outcomes can be more informed and responsive to the needs of your learners, or what are the benefits for them. And it's important to articulate them explicitly. And these two can work in harmony together. So pre-assigned objectives from higher up, they're not bad. In fact, they're important, especially, for example, in health and safety or compliance-based courses, or learning required to pass a qualifying exam. But for adult learners, they will be asking themselves the question anyways, what's in it for me? So you want to consider 3 or 4 points about how you will communicate or keep them informed of the benefits for them as individuals, as parents, as students, or professionals in a working environment. So, for example, you could say by the end of this course, you will have put into practice 3 different leadership styles and have decided which one is best for you. Okay, so this leads to my next point. This is L. L is for learner. You want to design with the learner in mind, asking yourself, what is the best way to deliver this particular type of content? What can be done outside of the session on their own versus what is absolutely necessary to happen in a live training or learning session with other people in the room? What can be done online or face-to-face? Should there be any pre-learning reading or videos that they can watch? If something can be done in advance, do it in advance. Not everything needs to be done in a live training or classroom environment. Adult learners might feel a greater sense of control or preparedness if they've done a little bit of pre-learning or research in advance of your training or classroom session. So we have choice, we have assumptions, we have benefits, and designing with the learner in mind. And now comes E in my acronym, which leads to experience. So you want to design also with experience in mind. Take time to understand their background, their education, their experiences. This can be done through anonymous surveys, like many online tools we use in Google Forms or SurveyMonkey, short phone calls, or a focus group with a few select participants. A large part of the learning for adults is being acknowledged or feeling understood, asking about motivations for learning or attending the session or course, or inquiring about their previous experience with the topic. To complete our CABLES acronym, that leaves S, which stands for shine. Now, you want to design with two variations of learners in mind so that they can actually shine. So basically, there's going to be two types of learners in your session. The person who has never seen the topic or the person who has. Now, this level of variation can vary greatly. Your job is to allow the what we call know-a-lots to demonstrate their knowledge of the subject and to help the know-a-littles to gain confidence with the subject. You want to have activities that cater to both in your classroom. Know-a-lots need chances to speak, to present, or to demonstrate to their peers. The know-a-littles might need a chance to read, reflect, or gain more confidence. So having something they can review in their hand is really helpful here. So in review, when planning learning for adults, you can use this acronym CABLES and consider choice, your own assumptions, the benefits to your learners, the learners themselves, and their experience, allowing everyone to shine. If you like this tutorial and you're interested in connecting with other educators of adults, consider joining me in an exclusive community where we are thriving together in a new world of work. You can go to theadultlearninghub.com for more information or to become a member directly. Have a great day. Bye.